every single day thousands of startups are born. The idea of building something, chasing a problem, and calling yourself as a founder, that thought crosses a lot of minds, especially young ones. But there's a difference between having an idea and actually taking action on it. Very few people do that, and even fewer people do at the age of 15. Today's guest is one of my friends. He's just 15 years old and is building his startup Ryde 16, which is a safe, connected EV mobility built specially for teenagers. It's not adapted for teenagers, but built for them. From the ground up, he's breaking down the idea, the product, and the actual roadmap behind it. So, let's get into it. My man Nachiketh, introduce yourself and your startup.
Okay, so I'm Nachiketh and I'm 15. Obviously, Anuj has told you everything about me and what I'm doing. But what I want you to know is Ride 16 is just one of my projects for this year. So apart from Ride 16, I have two other projects, which is long term and comparatively more complicated than Ride 16. And one thing with the mission of Ride 16 is to essentially, if I were to put it in a very controversial way, is to destabilize the police because a lot of underage drivers are getting caught by police, and that is something that I want to stop. And also provide more, uh, they more like to unlock more doors for the young children and help them mobilize throughout the city.
So, like, is it you got this idea? Is it like you got caught by any cop in your area that because you were driving your scooty, and that's when you got this idea?
Okay, so the idea essentially so I have a scooter which is an electric scooter and it does come under the category where it does not require registration nor helmet nor a license. But even when I ride it, I was afraid that police officer might catch me. So in that is one factor. And the other factor, that was just a thought. And the other factor was I had a pitch competition and my senior had come up with a full plan for this, and that's how we got into building it.
Oh, that's good. And the fact, like, even if after getting the idea, how did you think of taking action, or how did you force yourself from taking action? Like, what was that push?
I would say money mostly. Like I'll be
Uh,
honest. Like one thing
yeah,
is
yeah,
obviously
MD.
money. Apart from that, it's like if you look at it at a very deeper level, it would be like when you're speaking with people and when you're like this young, you want to be known for something. Like everyone wants to have that reputation. And the thought of like having something to say that I have built this and it's being used by millions of people, that is the one thing that drives me every day to build it. And like imagine this, you're 15 and you have something on the world wide web that is yours and people actually use it. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, and great people always say wealth, fame, power. These are the three, fundamentals that you need to have in your life to, live a happy life. If yeah, that makes sense, and really appreciate the fact that you're starting this at this early age and going through this. And now we have some questions to you regarding your business model and my inputs on your business model and what and all knowledge that you can share to our viewers. So let's jump on
Yes.
to the first section of questions. We have the business model questions. So what is the real margin? This the subscription minus insurance minus servicing. What is this section? Like how do you uh actually what are you selling in that subscription?
Okay, so let's not think it as a subscription, but let's rather frame it as a lease for the scooter. So let's say you're the consumer and I am the Ride 16 and there's a manufacturing unit for these specific scooters. What we do is we provide you the platform for you to talk with these manufacturers. And you asked about insurance and subscriptions. So essentially on every rental that we facilitate, we are going to take 7 to 10% cut based on which model of the scooter it is and how much the MRP of the scooter is. Right. So again, there are various margins for it. And for insurance, we are not actually going to facilitate the insurance. Our goal is because this is an untapped market, and if we and once we get into it, there'll be a new group of people who are using these kind of vehicles. Our goal is to tie up with insurance companies and get y'all a special policy for this kind. So
Okay.
essentially, if it were to work, our cost on insurance would be absolutely zero.
Okay, that makes sense. So if I'm your client, I come to your app and I do all the the sign up thing, and I somehow rent a scooter or just a EV bike. So what is the process of delivering? How are you going to bring that EV and all the documents regarding it to my locality?
So once you place the order, we'll get it on our platform's backend, and then we'll also connect you with the manufacturers. So then you can choose from the catalog in our app that which scooter do you want or bike do you want, and then we'll facilitate the manufacturer to build it, produce it, and send it over to our warehouse, or we will directly ask them to ship it to you, and we will pay the shipping costs. And for the documents and the legal requirements will all come with the scooter. And if you need any assistance with that, we will help you.
Okay, and how do you actually, if a scooty is rented and after 2 years I'm ready to give it back, so will I get charged for any damage that happens to the scooty, or is there any management system that's adopted when we rent this?
So once you do get the scooty, you're completely responsible for the 2 years. Once we get it back, we will run a test on everything, and we'll see if the damage is like very big, and you're gonna have to be legally liable for you to tell us honestly, because it's a contract that you're gonna sign, because it's a lease. So you're gonna have to tell us everything, and if there is any major damage, you will have to cover it.
And about the contract part, is it going to be a e-signature or physical sign?
It could be both.
It can be both. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, then there's a huge network chain that you have to build in this process, right? The manufacturer, and you're connecting those people to us, and basically the middleman process in this.
Yes.
So, as a middleman, what is your profit?
Again, our profit, if you're talking only in monetary terms, is the 7 to 10% cut. But since we are also getting manufacturers these recognition among these group of people, we could facilitate a contract between them and between the manufacturer and us. But I haven't really given it much thought till now. So for now, it's just the commission.
Yeah, it makes sense. We can figure it out, right? You can figure the process out. It's about the mindset that goes in it. If you have like, I need to do this, I need to fucking do it, I need to fucking take the action. Just like, David Goggins tells it, I'm gonna read this for this exam. Even if I fail tomorrow, at the very end, I know how to read. So, it makes sense.
Exactly. Yeah, it's more than the outcome. It's about the process and whether you will actually like get into the problem and try to solve it. So it doesn't matter if you get your desired result or not. If you get at least close to that or somewhat near that, it's absolutely amazing.
What is that pain in us? I mean, in terms of digital, there's a lot. We can bring in people, or we can bring in AI to help us. But what is the offline terms, like the connections, man? What is the thing that is pain in us?
Which factor? Like, what are the factors? Like, what?
It can be the MNCs that you're connecting, for the manufacturers that you're connecting, or the middleman process, or the delivery chain that you're setting up, which includes the authentication process.
Okay, the main pain in the ass is my age. Like, who would trust a 15-year-old? That's one thing. And the other thing, like these manufacturers giving up their scooters for 2 years and not to a direct consumer but on a rent. And people, like if you look at the patterns, people don't tend to handle the things that they rented with care. So
Yeah.
them bearing the cost, that's a big uh, roadblock for them. Apart from that, yeah, main thing is my age, bro.
Yeah, wait, yeah, you just need to keep trying, man. I don't know what to tell for that. Okay, then let's jump on to the next section, which is another controversial section, which we bring in controversial questions to every single creator here. So, the creator gets intimidated. So, let's
Yeah.
see. Will Nachiketh get intimidated? So, safety features versus surveillance, where is the line? How is your app ensuring safety, and how is it maintaining surveillance in terms of the parents perspective or
Yes.
normal cop perspective?
Okay, so first let's talk about parents' perspective, right? The app, like the backend right now, is facilitated into different domain. So we have domains. Now, the main thing is identity and users. So in the app, there's this main family thing in which parents can see everything about the teenagers that have the scooters. So on the app, the parents can see where the teenagers are, the location, live location, and for safety, again, you get alerts, speed limit alerts, and whether they are in the particular geofence area. So if the parents wanted to, they could set a particular radius, so up to 5 kilometer radius they can travel here. Apart from that, like, it would be risky for the parents, so they can have alerts set up for that. And again, speed limit alerts. And what we were thinking to is facilitate a SOS button on the scooter in case of any emergencies, which will automatically notify the parents. So that's safety. And what else did you ask?
In terms of the cop, as you know, the one thing that's coming into my mind is if I take my scooty from here and I come near some circle, then I see a policeman, he just catches me. So if a person takes a EV bike, how why won't the cop catch him?
Okay, even if the police did catch the scooter, it won't have a license plate. In the license plate, what will be written as no registration, no helmet, no license. That's one thing. And also, we will provide you the legal documents stating which law it comes under and who all are eligible to ride it. So if you meet that eligibility criteria, you can show it to the police officer, and there's nothing that he can do in the eyes of the law.
Okay, yo, that's a cool thing that I learned today. Uh, well, that's great. I didn't knew. I mean, now I got an excuse to go out. Okay, so the next question: does Ride 16 kills teen privacy from parents? It's a bit psychologically controversial because isn't Ride 16, caging that
For
teen within that specific radius?
so the geofence thing. Okay, so let me ask you this: 5 kilometers from your home, like, could you go to your favorite places,
5 kilometers
like within
from
a
my home?
five, yeah, like within a 5 kilometer radius,
Mm, yeah, to be honest, yeah, there are good places.
like where you hang out regularly and where you want to be, like that, those places.
Yeah, this gym is nearby, the cafe is nearby, this corner house. So yeah, there are places.
Yeah, so if it's already in that radius, like, it wouldn't really hurt that much. And even if it's not within that radius, like, the main reason a teen would go out, look, I'll tell you, they go to school or college, they'll come back. If they go to tuition, they're going to go to tuition. If they're going to come back, they're going to the gym. Or in the weekends, they're going to go hang out. Like, obviously, I don't know any of teenagers who do tell their parents and go somewhere out. Even if they do, they're gonna call and tell them, and it'll be chill. But if you do have strict parents, there's honestly nothing that we can do. It's all, again, it's all for safety of the users. It's nothing controversial here. Like, you framed it in a controversial way, but again, it's all made for the user's safety, and we don't have any control over the what the user does. It's again their personal things.
Yeah, coming to user safety, you are now giving a teenager access to his automobile without any license, and we cannot verify if that teen is skilled in terms of driving that automobile. So if any point, which to be honest, not it should not happen, but if anything wrong happens to that teen while traveling, every blame is going to come on Ride 16.
Yes, we have thought of that, and we have been questioned on this exactly. Our solution for that was, like, if there are, let's say, rise in accidents, first thing we do is we'd increase the safety ratings of every vehicle, call back every vehicle, and put on limiters, AI tracking, GPS, everything, which if it's not already there. Second thing, before we facilitate every rental, we're going to take a teenager through a guideline or a workshop where they can learn all the road safety and how to actually drive if they don't know. And if they don't actually know how to drive, we are going to facilitate a 2 week workshop for them to teach. And after that 2 week workshop, what we were thinking to is we give them the vehicle, but only for a specific radius, like we limit it. And if it goes beyond that, we would take some actions for like a specific period of time. So in that period of time, they can learn the road and actually have real life experience, and then they can later expand the radius and geofence.
About the 2 weeks workshop, how you are going to facilitate that process? I want to know how a founder will build that workflow for facilitating it, so our users can understand it.
So we probably have like we will talk to any lawyers and police officers and get them on par with us and have them explain to all the teenagers who are facilitating our service. They're gonna teach you in like a workshop. They're gonna have PPTs. They're gonna have you live demonstrations. They're gonna show you the worst case scenarios, best case scenarios, everything about road signs again, all of that, signal rules, everything. All of that is gonna be taken care in the workshop. Yeah. So the main thing there is to try and partner up with police officers and police station and traffic police and lawyers.
And what about the layout where you're going to train them?
So for training, I mean, again, I feel like, bro, like RTOs have like a space to train, right? And if you're gonna partner up with
Yeah,
traffic police, I'm sure we'll get access to that. So it
yeah,
works.
yeah. Makes sense, kind of. Yeah, to be honest, it
Yeah.
makes sense. Alright then, let's jump on to the next question. So, this question is mobility company or insurance data company in disguise. What is Ride 16?
So Ride 16 is a platform where you can save money, drive safe, and stay happy for teenagers. So we'll facilitate your rentals at a cheaper price compared to buying it upfront for 2 years and then later getting your license and being actually to drive actual scooters. So keep in mind that these scooters, they the teenager has to be aged 16 to 18. Anyone below 16, they can't drive it.
Okay.
So instead of buy, if you were to buy a electric scooter that is in that category, it would cost you 50 to 70K. Instead of doing that, we'd give you it on a lease for 2 years, and you pay maximum 25 to 30K. And in that case, you reduce your upfront consumer cost. You also avoid insurance, you avoid depreciation and everything. So essentially, parents save money, teenagers move faster, everyone's happy.
Yeah, that's good because depreciation cost, it's a wild topic when it comes to investing money. Uh, but coming to that, is the Ride 16 insurance or data company in disguise? So you're saying you're the middleman providing that insurance to the the teenagers. Do you get any commission from giving this insurance?
We might, maybe like 1% max, not a lot. Again, this is like not a lot of money base, but instead like just service.
Now let's jump on to the next section of this podcast. It's the technical part, which is building the app. So,
Yeah.
what is the hardest technical
Yes.
problem that came out of nowhere for you guys?
Okay. So what I've noticed is when early stage founders, I'm an early stage founder, I'm not trying to look privileged or anything, but most of the founders who don't have like a technical background and trying to build apps through AI, one thing they do is when you're building a pilot app or an MVP, they build too many features. Like you can build an MVP in 5 months and you keep adding more and more features, which will again add more and more files in your desktop and more architectural issues. It'll take you 12 months to finish that MVP, and at the end, it'll be too complicated, and investors will say this is like too complicated for an early stage startup. So, number one thing is to keep it limited before before writing a single line of code. You will have to plan out what your exact architecture is going to be and make sure you don't have too many features, but have enough features for it to show that you're not copyable. So, that is moat again. So, it has to show that your moat is strong enough that you don't get copied. That's the main
Yeah,
thing.
makes sense, bro. When I was building Domit's MVP before going to pitch to investors, I was like, okay, at least I'm gonna spend 8 9 months building this shit. But then I realized as soon as I can deliver the MVP, because these investors know what is important or what is not important. So if you have a short idea, it's good. Go ahead and build a small MVP and go pitch them. So even they are going to give their inputs and different perspectives built together shapes something beautiful. I mean, if I give a clear breakdown about from how many turns the domain had, it will take 1 hour because we reverted our ideas. And
Yeah.
surely, Ryde
Like
16
I
also
think
had
the
it,
main
right?
problem I'm thinking the main problem you would have faced was when you added like too many features. Like your architecture has broken like at least twice, right? Like the
Yeah, a
pages,
lot.
like the architectures, like it's gonna break. And it's hard to track everything because there are like so many files. Yeah.
Yeah. And another point, so as an early founder, do you want to go completely AI native in building this app or have experienced developers in this process?
Okay. So whenever I am building something technical, my roadmap is to build the MVP use AI. So once you have it built, you can raise funds and spend like a reasonable amount of that funds on hiring a technical team to make your app unbreakable. Because that initial investment where you spend your funds building a good app, it's gonna go a long way. Because if you were to build the whole app in AI and once you've gone big, if you were to fix it, like you had a lot of architectural issues. So that's gonna cost you a lot compared to doing it in the early stage.
Makes sense. And even if you have a developer in this process, you believe AI, even the developer should use the AI, right?
Yes, they should. It's more efficient.
Yeah. So majorly not completely themed around AI native, but partially.
Yeah.
Okay, now the part that our viewers are, very interested to know is how are you going to build the geofencing, the dual authentication, or the telematics? If you can give a brief
Yes,
idea,
telematics, obviously.
yeah.
So yeah, for geofencing, what we're gonna use APIs which are already have the geographical area of Bangalore, because our pilot city is gonna be Bangalore. I'm not sure if you've heard of him, but do you know Surya Utkarsha?
Is
Like
he a creator?
he has built a app called Raste for Bangalore.
Oh yeah, I follow
Yeah,
him. I follow him.
yeah. So basically, how he has built the geographical thing, the same thing we're gonna do. Again, telemetrics again is a factor of all that because it depends on the geographical thing. And again, with the GPS, same thing.
Yeah, oh, and Surya. He's a big inspiration, bro. At this age, he built a big banger raste. From nowhere, he's coming in my feed, and I'm like, oh my god, how did this guy build this?
I know.
So,
He's
yes,
he's Forbes featured.
and he's very well, well. He has a good knowledge base around him. That always any founder, you need to have a good knowledge base so you can have upper hand while talking to others. Now,
Look,
uh, yeah, I follow that guy.
yeah,
And now, coming to the next section of questions, which is majorly at this young age, as a 15 years old, m- pitching to investors is one of the main part of having a successful startup, and no 15-year-old is ready to push his ass and go and pitch to an investor, but you did it. So how did you you know pitch to investors? You can brief your how was your the feeling while
yeah,
pitching to these
yeah,
investors,
yeah.
so just
So
brief it up.
the first time, like I got a contact to an investor was in the gym. I was in the gym and there's this dude. And one day I asked him, "Do you play any sports?" He was like, "Yeah." Then he asked me to search him up on Instagram. And I found out he runs a creative marketing agency who has clients like RCB, NBA, Agio, Mintra, and all of those big names. And like he has an upcoming shoot with Yonex and Lakshya Sen. Like if you're into badminton, you know those are like big brands. So he put me in touch with a few investors, and since he put in a good word for me, so that was like a good luck for me, and I went there. Yes, I was very nervous while pitching. It was not like a physical pitch. Again, it was online. So again, was one thing is they don't test you easily. Like they bring you questions that you'll have to think for 3 minutes and then answer, because the questions are that hard to answer, and you'll have to frame it in such a way that doesn't make it look stupid.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's number one thing. And obviously, these are like big people. They have funded big ventures and big companies.
Again, coming to pitching to investors. Yeah, so when you go to pitch to investors, you obviously have a database of collections of your competitors. And how did you shape your pitch against these competitors? I mean, I can give an example. There in your field there is EVES, there is Zip Electric, there is Aether, Ola Electric. So
There's
how
Yulu.
did you? Yeah, Yulu also.
Yeah. So one thing that differentiates from all of these people is these scooters, like they're bought by everyday gig workers to travel, and they buy it upfront. Again, I'm pretty sure they buy it upfront, or they get out. I don't know how exactly it works, or I think the company provides it for them, but they'll have to pay for it later on. I'm not completely sure. Yeah, one thing that differentiates from us is the lease concept and saving on depreciation and upfront consumer cost. That's the one thing that differentiates from everyone. And this market is very untapped. Like the total addressable market in this one, I think it's around, I forgot the number. My bad. I forgot the
Yeah,
number.
no
I don't
worries.
want to say false value. Yeah. So, yeah, one thing that I would say differentiated is the leasing concept.
One more thing that comes to pitching investors, do you go in with a script or you just go, hey, Atamachi Satakri, I'm gonna do this? So, is it like,
Okay.
how do you script it out?
So, if you understand your product really well, you don't really need a script.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, that's true.
If you're building it, you should know your product in and out. You should know the loopholes. You should know how to answer them. You should know how to cover the loopholes as well. So, I don't go on with the script because I understand the product really well before going to any pitch.
Yeah, but there will be a viewer saying, bro, ah man, I don't know, man, I just fumble in front of these people, man, for some no reason. About to get to the end of our podcast. So, your attitude. How do you keep your attitude towards these investors? These are like the
While
basic concepts, but it's very important.
while pitching, again, it comes down to like previous question you said, what if they're overthinking the pitch, right? Like what if I
Mm-hmm.
fumble it? Again, one answer for that is detach from the outcome. Because look, it's not that only this one VC is there in the entire world. Like there are hundreds of VCs. The more you pitch, the more you get used to them, the more you get chill with them. Like your first time is not going to be the one. I'm telling you, it's not going to be the one. You're not going to raise funds your first ever
Yeah.
pitch. But instead, detach from the outcome, learn from whatever didn't go wrong, whatever did go well, and improve with every single pitch that you do to investors. And as of for my attitude, again, they're just people with hectare of money who wants to fund people.
Mm.
Again, they've built startups. That's how they're over there. They know how it is, and they're not going to judge you, obviously. But if you do come in with a stupid idea, again, you should know better.
Yeah. And venture capitalists, they have money to go do big stuff. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Next question. While you're pitching to people, do you keep the conversations in between short or you go complete debriefing?
Again, it depends on whether your product is completely technical or service based. So if yours is a really technical product, for example, like a few days ago I had a pitch, like a competition pitch from this, I think I've told you, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
TCI.
You went
Yeah,
with your
yeah.
gang.
Yeah, again, that was like a complete product based pitch, and it was a smart ID card. They asked us, how are you going to facilitate payments without battery? Again, there you had to go into deeper knowledge. But then when they asked about the app or for the card, there you don't have to go much, because you can, if you set say the key points of the app, it'll give you a whole brief and they will understand it.
Okay then, so those were the sections of questions. Hopefully, viewers learned a lot. I mean, I learned a lot from you, man. So, hands
Oh
off to
man.
you. Uh, yeah, so hands off to you again. What is that one thing that you are going to say to our viewers?
Oh wow, you're putting me up on the spot.
Yeah,
What are your viewers like age? They're teenagers,
yeah,
like
majorly.
us. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, again, detach from the outcome. I stand by this by everything I do. Detach from the outcome, focus on the process. Because if you do the process well, you will get the outcome. It's do you know Newton's third law?
every action has equal. That's the only thing that I remember from my
Yeah,
physics class, man.
yeah, exactly. That ties into entrepreneurship 100%. So yeah, detach from the outcome and do it. Whatever you do, give it 100%, and then
Lovely quote, man. Lovely. Yeah. So that's Nachiketh for you guys. He's building this startup, Ryde 16, and he has his own YouTube channel documenting that journey. So check out Nachiketh's channel, and he'll keep us updated with his new ideas
yes.
and his journey. And here, this channel is dedicated for providing value because there are seven motherfuckers bringing in BS shit to YouTube. And as a teenager who has been through years struggling, identifying which are the good hooks. I mean, after getting scammed a lot, I just want to bring in content that is valuable and is worth spending time. So this is another creator, Nachiketh, and his journey of building Ride 16. Hopefully, you guys loved this podcast, loved meeting Nachiketh's perspective, and that's it. Peace off.
If you want to learn more, don't waste money. Instead, fuck around more and find out more.